All right, welcome back, AP scholars. We're taking a look at evenly spaced from the logic-2 problem set from codingBat. And this question is at least worded better, but it's a tricky one to solve, especially if you're just focusing on the Unit 3 material. There's some cheaty ways to solve. Like cheating isn't true. Like you can solve it any way you want, really, but ways that don't use the Unit 3 material, that use material from beyond it. But anyways, here's basically the question. So in evenly spaced, we want to see if given three integers, if they are sort of have even spacing between them. So for example, 2, 4, 6 are evenly spaced. The difference between the small and the medium number is the same as the distance between the medium and the large number. So that difference is 2, right? There's a difference between 2 and 4, and then it's also a difference of 2 between 4 and 6. Those numbers don't have to be in order, however. A is not necessarily the smallest one. So for example, 4, 6, 2 is also true because the distance between the smaller and the medium, 2 and 4, and the distance between the medium and the large, 4 and 6, is also 2. So that sucks. That's going to make it a little bit hard. So for my answer, I'm basically going to identify the small, medium, and large numbers first. That's what I'm going to focus on. So if I can identify the small, medium, and large numbers using if statements or math.min and math.max, then I can check the difference between the small and the medium and the large, and then return true or false based on that. So that's my strategy. How do I determine those things? Well, that's sort of the crux of the question. So if you would like to use that information and go try the question, please feel free. But otherwise, I'm going to go over the answer now. So either come along or pause the video and come back in a bit. So here's my answer. Basically, I made a helper function again for this one, even though it didn't ask me to. And then I have my calculation for which one of A, B, and C is my small value. So I just chained two math.mins together. So I'm finding the minimum between A and B, and I plug that number into the minimum between that and C. So either A, B, or C will be the result of this, whichever is the smallest one. So small will get the value of our smallest number between A, B, and C. Large is not too bad. I just do the same kind of concept with math.max. So math.max is nested in here. So I find the larger between A and B, and then I pit that against C in an outer math.max. So the result will be the largest number. Medium, I couldn't find a way to do with math.min and math.max. Seems like it should work, but it doesn't easily. So I just wrote a get medium method, and I'll show you what that is in a minute. And then all I have to do is return to see if the difference between the large and the medium is the same between the difference of the medium and the small. So if that's true, it returns true. Otherwise, it's false. So I think the hard part is getting the medium number. So here's my get medium method. I have to scroll down a bit more. Wow, so big. So I'm not super happy with it, but I guess it's okay. So basically, I'm checking to see, hey, is A greater than B? If A is greater than B, then we have to decide, based on that information, which one is the medium. So it could still be A or B, but it kind of depends on C. So if A is greater than B, then let's say, let's go. So if A is greater than B, then it's possible that A is the medium number if C is greater than A. Saying these things out loud, I'm like, if you're just listening to this, it won't make too much sense. You kind of have to work it out on paper. But if A is bigger than B, so, say this is 4 and this is 2, then A might be the medium number if C is bigger than A. So then I'm like, A is it. I got it. If that's not true, though, then I guess B might be the medium number if it's bigger than C. So then I return B. And otherwise, I guess if none of those were true, then C must be the medium number, so I return C. So then the else is basically, well, what if B was the bigger one, and I just do the other logic the other way. So to get this, I kind of have to work out, some on paper, some details about, with if statements. So this is a pretty complicated, convoluted group of if statements. I will mention that there is an easier way to solve this problem using some knowledge outside of the unit involving arrays. And so I can make an array of these numbers, I can sort the array, and then I know that the first number is the smallest, the second is the medium, and the third is the large. This isn't necessarily a superior solution, it's just easier, but it probably is worse in the sense of taking more time and such for it to actually compute this. It's not a big deal with 3 numbers though, really. I don't think it's going to break any computer computational limits of any kind. So that would also work. But this is a great way to get medium, and I would say just trace through some examples with this code, plug in some various examples that you might see from here, and just kind of understand how it works by tracing it through. I think me saying it doesn't help as much as you doing it and seeing why it works. Okay, so that's the answer to evenly spaced. I hope that made sense. And that's the end of our questions for Logic 2. I didn't assign the make chocolate or make bricks this time around because they are maybe a little bit beyond where we are right now, and I think the loops helps for those ones. Okay, so thanks so much, folks. Have yourselves a great day.